Hey guys, I'm back. Today we're going to finish off the carrot cake recipe. We're actually going to do the icing part and the finishing off part of, I'm going to show you a few different ways that you can package this up, whether you're going to give it away or whether you're going to freeze it, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. But anyways, so you have your cake, and if by chance you haven't seen the first video, go back to one video and we talk about how we made the cake. But the ingredients, the directions, everything are on my website, so it's justcrumbs.ca. If you just want to do that, you can go there. But now we have the cake made. It's in a 9 by 13 inch pan. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut it into 12 pretty good chunks. You can cut into smaller chunks, but it's just what I've always done. So you cut into 12, sort of 3 by 4. And then you take one of the pieces. So you have a nice chunk of cake, and then what you're going to do is you're going to slice it open, make like a little sandwich. We're going to put that over here, and then we're going to get the icing ready. So I've made the icing already. The directions are on my blog. So it's basically cream cheese, icing sugar, a little bit of vanilla, and a little bit of butter. What I actually really like to do is, you can just slather it on if you want, but this is another one of the tricks. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a big batch of the icing. And I'm all about big batching things, just like the carrots in the last YouTube video. I like to be able to have things kind of ready. So what I do is, instead of using what I use and then putting something else like in a little container and putting it in the freezer, which by the way, cream cheese icing freezes really well. What I like to do is I like to use these disposable piping bags. You can get them at a bakery supply store. I've even seen them at the dollar store, believe it or not. So you want to grab one of those, and what you're going to do is you want to lop off one of the ends. So just take off a good chunk, and it doesn't really matter how big it is. It's more for storing and more for just being able to put it in the cake a little bit better. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to sort of make a little bit, flip it over, and open it up, and then put it in a stand-up glass like this. And this is just a trick so that you can get the icing into the bag. Hopefully I don't make a mess. And you're gonna plop it in. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand if you're trying to hold the bag and do this at the same time. So what you're gonna do is, now you've got it in the bag, you're going to flip this back up. And the reason you do this is so that you don't make a mess of the top part of the bag. So that's where you kind of squeeze and stuff doesn't fall all over the place. So generally what you do is you hang on to that, and what you want to do is you're twisting this a little bit so that the stuff doesn't come out. And this is a piping, if you're a pastry chef, if you're doing lots of desserts. So you always want to close it up here, because what I find is when people do this, they just sort of squeeze and everything comes up this side. So close it up here and then hang on to it like this. So you sort of make a little cup with it. And then all you're going to do is you're going to squeeze the icing sugar, the cream cheese icing right on top of there. And then you're going to close it off like that. So it's a nice little sandwich. And move that over. You're going to do that with all 12 pieces, and then you're going to take a little piece of plastic wrap and put it in the plastic wrap like this. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to wrap it nicely, which I'm not really good at, but it's kind of nicely. And you're going to have a whole bunch of these packages like this, a little tiny piece of carrot cake. So you're saying, well, why would you do this? I started doing this because I used to sell this to a golf course, which I said in the last video, and they wanted something that was portable, that you could walk around with. And when they put the cream cheese icing on the top, it was just a little bit hard because it was messy and it's hot. You're on a golf course, the sun's beating down on you. So this way was just an easier way to be able to kind of carry it around with you. But the nice thing about this is, if you do it with all 12 pieces, then individually wrap each piece and then take all 12 pieces and put it in one of those big heavy-duty Ziploc bags and put it in the freezer. So like I said before, if somebody calls you and says, hey, I'm coming over for coffee, you take a couple pieces out, put them on a plate, unwrap them, put them on a plate, sprinkle them with a bit of icing sugar. By the time your coffee's done, these are defrosted and you're good to go. So it's just kind of nice to always have something, a little bit of a treat in the freezer for yourself. So that's the trick for this. If you want any of the directions on the icing sugar, the cream cheese icing, the carrot cake itself, and I also have, I make cream cheese carrot cake Twinkies with this same recipe. So you need a Twinkie pan, which sometimes you can find at bakery supply stores, but those are awesome, awesome. Anyways, I hope you love this. If there's any other recipes that you're interested in, tons of baking on my website, also regular food, if you wanted to take a peek there. And as always, my email's on the bottom, so if you have any questions about this or any other recipe, shoot me an email and I'd be happy to hear from you. Have a great day, and I will see you guys soon. See you later. Bye.